Custom-made shirts.
Tongue out. Gene actually stuck his tongue in Joe's mouth.
In Joe's mouth.
Joe was in the bathroom gargling after.
Yeah. Joe had these custom shirts made by some tailor. Some woman made these really expensive shirts that he had custom made. They were really expensive. And Joe, Gene got, he licked his face and stuck his tongue in his mouth and got crud all over Joe's really expensive shirts. But that's not Gene. Gene's like a beast. He really is. I'll never forget one time we were sitting in the back of the plane, and I have a photo of it on my camera somewhere. Gene was sitting there eating, and he sits always in the back. I sit in the very back of the plane in the corner, so I'm sitting on the couch like that's the front of the plane. I sit on the couch. I like to be in the back because I like to see the whole play field and what's going on. So in the back we call that the fun zone. The middle of the plane we call Switzerland, which is neutral, means you don't take sides in any battle. When Paul sits in the front with Doc, and that's the no fun zone. Well, Paul likes to be quiet, and he likes to just kind of sleep or take naps. He likes to kind of just be to himself. And Paul will not ride in a car with me to or from the gigs or to or from anywhere because I talk too much. So, but Gene likes it because I talk and I'm talking to him. So, as we all know, Gene's happy if anyone's talking to him. You know, I said, Gene, you get a lot of airtime out of me. I'm radio-free Gene. So, and he goes, nothing's free. But Gene gets a lot. So I'm sitting like this. Gene sits in a chair facing that way in front of me, right in front of me. And Gene is like, he's like a beast. You know, he doesn't, after the show, he'll just leave the makeup on. He'll just put a bathrobe on and a towel on his head, and he just sits up. He doesn't even change clothes. He'll just sit there with sandals and a bathrobe on, like your grandfather. And he's sitting there, and he was eating some pasta, and he had when he eats, he gets food everywhere, but in his mouth. And he's got it all over his hands, and I watched him, and he didn't notice it. He's sitting there, and he's got schmutz all over his hands, and he's trying to figure out where he just goes like this. And just wipes it all over his head and over his towel. And he didn't even think anything of it. It was like the funniest thing. I have a picture of me there. You see all this smeared stuff on his head. I mean, that's what living with Gene and being around Gene is a new adventure every day. Right, Keith? Keith will tell you.
It's fun.
It's fun. I mean, I got to tell you, if you really got to know Gene, everybody here would end up loving him because he'd be like your crazy uncle or your crazy grandfather or something. He talks all tough, and he's basically like a chocolate-covered marshmallow. It's all mush inside, complete, right? He's a big softie. He just talks tough, and he tries to act mean, but he's basically a butterball. And but he's a lot of fun to be around. He makes you laugh every single day, all the time.